Hi everyone, and welcome to the fourth lecture on APA formatting, talking about paper elements. Just as a quick note, all of this information can be found in Chapter 2 of the APA 7 manual. The manual offers two paper versions, and in this class, we will be following the professional format. The first thing you need for your paper is a title page. The title should be centered, bolded, and placed on the upper half of your page, about 3 or 4 lines down from the top margin of the page. The title should convey the point of the paper, so try to make it as concise as possible. You don't want it to be overly long, but it should summarize the main idea. Staying on the title page, right underneath the title should be the authors. Include a blank double-space line, called a byline, between the title and the authors. The authors should be centered beneath the title in what we call a standard font, which just means not bolded. You will see in examples that the author's name is provided with the first name, middle initial, and last name. But there is some variation here based on preference. Sometimes authors don't want to put their full first name or their middle initial, and that's fine, but it does help to reduce the likelihood of mistaken identity. Everyone who contributed should have their name on the paper. Everyone in this class needs to turn in their own paper, and so your name will be the first one on the title page. But if you were to publish your study, you would list your full group by order of contribution. The first author is typically the one that does the most work and leads the project. When there are multiple authors, you put commas between their names and add "and" only before the last author. If there is a suffix such as junior, separate that by a space, not a comma. Below the title and authors, insert a line for institutional affiliation with department and university. So you would put Department of Psychology, comma, Idaho State University. Since you all have the same affiliation, you only put this once, but if you were collaborating with others from different institutions, you would insert a line for each of these. You will need to have a running head in your paper, which consists of an abbreviated version of the title, which you will see an example of here in just a moment. The running head is entered into the page header and is not just typed onto each page yourself. It's aligned to the left in all capital letters. Because the running head is shorter than the actual title, there is a maximum of 50 characters, which includes letters, punctuation, and spaces, so keep it short. You can't use abbreviations here, but you can, for instance, use the ampersand symbol for "and". And don't include the words running head. We used to do this, but got rid of it with the newest edition of the APA manual. Also include page numbers in your paper. The page number should be at the top of the paper in the header, but aligned to the right, not the left. Use the automatic page number function to number each of your pages. And the title page should be listed as page 1. The running head and page numbers should appear on every page of your document. And as a reminder, these are on separate sides of the paper. So the running head is flushed left and the page number is flushed right. So here's an example title page. You can see that the title of the paper is "The Role of Compulsive Texting in Adolescents' Academic Functioning." It's shifted down about 3 or 4 spaces. There's a byline followed by the names of the authors separated by commas, with each affiliation listed below the names. The running head is in the header in all caps, and compulsive texting and academic functioning is written as an abbreviation for the full title. And lastly, the page number is in the upper right-hand corner of the paper. After the title page comes the abstract, which is a brief overview of the paper in about 250 or fewer words. The overview should contain the problems or issues in the literature, the research question, the method, results, and conclusion. Because abstracts are short, each of these should be about 1 to 2 sentences. Keywords will appear on the same page as your abstract. Choose 3 to 5 important keywords or phrases for your paper and list them in alphabetical order. This helps your reader to know what terms to understand for the context of your paper. And in the publishing world, these become Google search words that help people find your article. Here's an example abstract. Note that the title is centered and bolded. Everything is double-spaced, and the paragraph itself is not indented. The keywords are indented a ½ inch, and the word keywords is capitalized and italicized. The keywords should be in alphabetical order here, which does seem to be forgotten about in this example, but this was chosen because of the way that it breaks down information in that paragraph. Go ahead and pause and read. Headings and subheadings are important because they can be used to organize sections of your paper. In APA 7, we don't use an introduction heading, but you should have at least a method, results, and discussion section. Subheadings such as procedures or measures that fall under the method section can help further your organization and help your reader transition from section to section. Overall, it just helps you to know what you're reading. And it's important that your headings flow within your paper as well, so you do not start a new page with each heading. How you format your headings depends on whether the topic is overarching and acts as an umbrella for different information, or if it's a subheading for more specific organization. The broadest headings are called Level 1 headings and are centered, bold, and capitalized as if they were the title of a paper. This includes the headings of your abstract, the title, we now use the title instead of introduction, methods, results, and discussion. Subheadings or Level 2 headings should be formatted left-aligned, bold, and properly capitalized the same as Level 1 headings. Subheadings are really used to separate sections within headings that have a lot of information you want to break up. Just make sure that it makes sense when adding them. For instance, a subheading for materials makes sense because you will likely have multiple measures you have given. So there's a theme here. You wouldn't add a subheading for something you only have, say, 1 sentence about. Some common examples include participants, procedures, materials, and instrumentation. Here's an example of Level 1 and 2 headings. This shows the results centered, bolded, and 2 types of results, flush left with proper capitalization. Here's the order your pages should go in. Page 1 is your title page. Page 2 is your abstract. Page 3 is the text, and there are specific sections here. Give the title page of your paper as your Level 1 heading, bolded and centered, along with the methods, results, and discussion. This is followed by your references, which starts on a new page, with the title centered and bolded. This is followed by any footnotes, tables, figures, and appendices, which might include, say, a specific task given to your participant. APA 7 does have a list of different fonts and font sizes you are allowed to use, so feel free to use any of these listed. Just make sure to keep the same font throughout your paper. It's always good to check with publishers, instructors, or institutions if you're uncertain about font requirements, but I'm personally fine with any of these. And lastly, please make sure that your paper is double-spaced with 1-inch margins and all papers are aligned to the left. And that is all I have for you. I'll see you in the next APA lecture, and please let me know if you have any questions.